Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Ringside Rundown podcast. My name is Erik Vasquez, and joining me on the line is my podcasting partner in crime. Yes, that rhymes, coming straight from the Berg. She is none other than Shay Hickson. Shay, what's going on, my friend? How was your week?
Pretty good so far. Can't complain other than the weather can't make up its mind. You got hammered from what I
Yeah.
remember you saying.
Yeah, we got a decent bit of snow down here. The good thing about this snow is not like last time. We got dumped with like snow and then a shit ton of ice. So that's why like it took so long for the snow and the roads to get cleared. And as soon as we see some grass and everything and we finally get rid of the snow, we get dumped with more snow. So but this snow is actually clearing out on its own pretty quickly, so that's a good sign, and I'm happy to see. I can't wait for summer already. I'm a spring summer type guy. So this cold weather and being bundled up in blankets, I'm not all about it.
Yeah, see, I'm a fall person, so I like the comfy, cozy flannels and the blankets and everything. This can get a little too cold though, so I mean, I don't mind winter, but it's fun to look at, not so much to, drive in or walk in. But yeah, we got lucky. It didn't really hit a whole lot here. I mean, it snowed a little bit on the way to work this morning, but it didn't end up sticking and ended up melting by the time I left work. So supposedly we're going to be getting, I think I said 1 to 3-ish, depending on where you are, inches around here tomorrow or tonight and tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's just, who would have thought like a couple weeks ago it was 60 something. Now it's back to, weather.
Yeah, right now it's 17 degrees out.
Yeah. It's just
not my ideal weather, but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be talking to you. Tonight we have a big show tonight. Not only do we have a ton of questions about what's going on in the world of WWE and AEW, but we also have our predictions for this weekend's Elimination Chamber PLE in Chicago. That's going to be a big one because it has huge implications for WrestleMania, which I know a lot of people want to talk about as well. For those of you that don't know who we are and what we do, this is the Ringside Rundown podcast. It's a podcast about pro wrestling where Shay and I discuss what the happenings of, like I said, AEW, WWE, TNA, New Japan, Ring of Honor. It doesn't matter if it has to do with wrestling. We're talking about it, and one of the ways we do it is we open up the lines to you guys to send us in your questions about what you want our opinions on and what you want us to talk about. So not only do we have predictions for Elimination Chamber, we got a ton of questions to get through. I'm excited. You're the quarterback here, so you let us know. I think we're going to be doing the predictions for Elimination Chamber first.
Yeah, you might as well go for it. I'm going off of Wikipedia, so no one yell at me. This is how they put it in order. So I'm just gonna go from probably what would be the first 2 matches to most likely the main event. So we're just gonna do it, and that's it. So all right, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, so clearly, since it's the Elimination Chamber, we're not going to be getting a whole lot of matches. There's a whopping total of 4, and 2 of them are the men's and women's elimination chambers. Go figures. So not a whole lot to talk about, but still there's definitely some star-studded matches, to say the least, starting off with the men's elimination chamber match, where the winner gets a shot at the undisputed WWE championship at WrestleMania 42. So we got Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso. So this is a very star-studded chamber field, to say the least, this time.
Yeah. I love that Javon Evans is in it too.
Oh yeah, of all people, I'm definitely excited to see what he can do, because the stuff he does in a regular wrestling match is already insane, but get something like the chamber involved.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is going to be something. But I like how it's a mix of like veterans and kind of like newcomers into the chamber, because obviously Orton, Cody, Jay, they've already had their share of chamber matches, but then I think they said LA Knight, and then obviously Javon and Trick, I think that's their first chamber match, so it'll be interesting to see how they can adapt to a very imposing structure, to say the least. I feel like I would be very nervous to step into that thing, because so much can go wrong. very quickly, but it's still going to be very entertaining. Like I said, Javon Evans, I feel like is just going to be the easy like pick to be like the star of this match
Right.
for obvious reasons.
Right.
But when it comes to the winner, though, I feel like, well, we have to think. This is for the undisputed WWE Championship, so that is currently Drew McIntyre's. So, unfortunately, it kind of leans more towards perhaps an obvious choice here because I feel like are they just gonna go with Cody? I unfortunately feel like they might because I just don't see. I mean, obviously we love Javon, but he's not gonna win it. Jay's probably. I mean, if Jay wins it, I think people are gonna riot probably. So he technically shouldn't have been in the match anyway, but we'll get to the why later. LA Knight's on Raw, but sometimes I don't think they tend to care about the, oh, well, this person's on this brand, and so that champion's on the other brand, they can't challenge them. But they do tend to stick with that pretty strictly. So I feel like it would come down to Randy Orton, Trick Williams, or Cody Rhodes. So when you put those three together, I think it's rather obvious Cody's gonna be winning and get his whatever title match at WrestleMania. I feel like people are turning on him.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, are you starting to feel like the Cody burnout? You sound like you're a little bit burnt out from Cody Rhodes there.
Yeah, a little bit, because I mean, and it's no knock on him, obviously, but I feel like, unfortunately, if you're an AEW fan, you also have had the same exact feeling with Cody several years ago, but I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a bad match because Cody and Drew always have great matches, but it's just the fact of do we really need to see this again?
Right.
But at WrestleMania, like what's gonna change though? Like, is Cody gonna have another like star moment at WrestleMania, or is Drew gonna actually break the demons of not losing a title at WrestleMania? But I don't know. I just feel like because obviously Trick's not gonna win it, and I don't really know about Randy, so yeah, I feel like it's just gonna be Cody. I feel like we're just gonna get another match with him and Drew at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I can't necessarily say if I'm feeling Cody burnout. I don't think I am feeling Cody burnout, but I will say if he does win the Elimination Chamber, which I'm sort of leaning towards he is, it's either him or they go with Sami Zayn again. And have Sami have a big moment at WrestleMania Vegas, but I think they might be saving that till next year's WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I think they're probably looking towards that for Saudi Arabia, so they might save Sami from winning this time. Cody seems to be the easiest, most logical choice. Like I said, I'm not feeling like Cody burnout per se, but I mean, what other option do you have? Like, you can go with LA Knight to kind of surprise people and give LA Knight a moment. I think he still has some people in his corner, and he still has a certain subsect of the fan base that really wants to see him get his just due and come up and get his rightful place on the top of the mountain. It's just going to be hard to believe, it's just going to be hard to believe. I think that's what, and also you got to look at what's going to sell tickets for WrestleMania, because we know the ticket sales aren't as good as they want them to be. So the ticket sales are not where they want them to be. So they got to think of every single thing, and they got to kind of put everything under a microscope to see if they can sell as many tickets as possible. In that case, thinking about it, analyzing it that way, I'd say Cody, that makes Cody a lock, because he could still move some tickets despite Cody burnout and things like that, and what people might be feeling with Cody. He can still move tickets. He still moves merchandise. People still love to see him. So I'm going to go with the safe bet and also say Cody Rhodes as well.
All right, so we both picked Cody to punch his ticket to WrestleMania 42 in the men's chamber match. So we always have to specify it so we don't have any issues, because we've had some issues before when it comes to the predictions, but we want to make sure this is fair. down the middle. All right, so we both got Cody. So go from the men's chamber match to the women's chamber match, which whoever is the winner of that one will face Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship, which, yeah, but we'll save that for later. All right, so we got Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez, who just punched her ticket on Raw. So I don't want to say that this one's less star-studded than the men's, because they're all pretty good in their own right. I mean, Kiana James, that was definitely like the shocker of the entire field, obviously beating Charlotte, or pinning Charlotte, but again, once you kind of know who the champion's gonna be and who it's gonna, like, who you're gonna end up facing, you kind of can throw Rhea out. If we're going by just brand, I mean, again, that kind of is just like hit and miss, but it's like you could throw Rhea out, you could throw Asuka out, you can throw Raquel out, you can throw that's it. So you have Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, or Kiana James. I think it's safe to say Kiana James is not winning this match. She may turn some heads, she may surprise some people, but it's a very safe bet to say she's not winning. So it comes down to Alexa Bliss or Tiffany Stratton. Now, I feel slightly bad for whoever wins this match, though, because we've had our hang-ups with Jade Cargill and everything surrounding her title reign, but we can admit she's getting a little better in the ring. She's definitely not where she could be yet, but again, that's a whole can of worms for another day. I feel like we've talked about it ad nauseum at this point. So do you really want to go with Tiffany Stratton again, or do you want to try Alexa Bliss? Because I feel like this is another one of like, do we really want Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill again? Because that really didn't knock anyone's socks off the first time. In fact, most people were not too thrilled that it happened. So I don't know, man. This one's kind of tough. I mean, they could bring somebody over from Raw. I mean, it's always a safe bet to go with Rhea Ripley, but I just don't know how that would benefit her at all, because I mean, it's Jade Cargill, so I don't really know. I couldn't see Rhea winning that one because she's already got her stuff going on with Io, but do we really want to see Tiffany again? I don't want to see Tiffany. I don't want to see Tiffany again. Like, I don't. Oh, fuck.
It's tough.
Yeah. I feel like that's the safe bet, but the problem is that do we also want to go with two safe bets for both chambers? Because I feel like that's a very, like, blah kind of outcome if both of them were just like, oh, well, yeah, of course they would go with them. So I feel like, well, this is also kind of biased, because if we go with the whole thing, like you say, with ticket sales, obviously you'd want to say Rhea, but again, I just don't see them doing the cross-brand thing with this match, because again, I don't think that's really as high of a profile matchup, because that's just one-sided to me. But then the problem is, you could say that with literally anybody in this. It's just going to be kind of a one-sided affair kind of thing, because someone's going to have to be pulling double duty in that match. I'll just go for maybe the slightly off skew, like slightly left field pick. I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss, mainly just because I don't want to see Tiffany Stratton again in this situation. I don't want to see Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill too. I don't want to do it. I don't want to see it. And give Alexa another match at WrestleMania. Why the hell not, right? Like, perhaps that can create some more tension with her and Charlotte, possibly, because kind of hinted that a little bit at the Rumble, and, you know, that could just rear its ugly head again, and that could be more drama, but just, I don't know, it's just like, what positives really are there to doing Tiffany and Jade again? It's just like,
I mean, to their credit, the Tiffany and Jade match was pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought I didn't think it was going to be the drizzling shits, but I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous, let's just say. And I was pleasantly surprised at how well the match went along. Now, but that's different though, because there's no pressure of WrestleMania on your shoulders trying to deliver a match. This was just a match for SmackDown. So there's none of that pressure. I think since we already seen it, we can rule out that interaction. We could rule out Tiffany Stratton on my end. Kiana James obviously still a little too new to get that big spotlight. Asuka would be some sort of, I would feel like it's almost like a legacy spotlight if you were to give the match to Asuka. Same reason you would give the match to Randy Orton, simply because they are who they are, you know? So you would probably give the match to Asuka if that was the case. For me, I think the way to go is to go with Alexa Bliss. I think they can build upon the idea of Alexa is now back in the WWE full-time. She's ready to take the reins as women's world champion. She's, she did her thing with Charlotte, but now it's time for her to stake her own claim in the division and show them that, she was once the big top dog in the division, and now she can maintain that status in the division. So I think I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss as well. That's why I'm kind of surprised you stole my pick.
See, we do that to each other sometimes. We just steal our thunder, but it's okay. It's just great minds think alike, I guess. But all right, so we both, apparently surprisingly, picked Alexa Bliss as the winner of the women's chamber match, who will go on to again face Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 42. So far we're 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Are we going to split off when it comes to these next two? I'm not so sure, but we'll find out here. So, all right, so we're going to go next with, I wish this was the main event, but it won't be, a match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. We have the champion Becky Lynch defending the title against AJ Lee in Chicago. I feel like we have to kind of say that for context purposes, in Chicago. So the question is, are they going to appease the crowd and have her win this in front of the Chicago faithful? Easy answer for me is no. I don't think she's going to, because I feel like they kind of love doing that thing where, this could be a slam dunk, like hometown kind of moment for somebody, but no, we got to get the heel more heat. So what would piss that crowd off more than having Becky, most likely, let's be honest, cheat to retain the title? And I feel like they could drag this out a little bit more now that they remember AJ Lee is actually employed. It'll, help to actually have her around a little bit more. So it's going to be a great match. I really hope that they give them enough time. Like, hell, give them 20 minutes. Give them at least 15 minutes or something, because I don't want them to rush this. I want them to take their time, because I feel like the more time these two have, especially, the more magic they can make, which is like the most obvious thing in the world to say, but it's true. They're just that good. But I feel like AJ's going to get close. There's going to be plenty of near falls. That last finish is going to be like, oh, she's finally going to do it, but Becky's just going to find a way to chicken shit her way to the win, and she's going to hold on to that title a little bit longer. Obviously, I feel like at some point I would think AJ's going to end up taking it, but I think Becky's going to piss off the Chicago crowd, which, to be fair, is a very easy thing to do, but she might have to run out of there before they jump the guardrails if she wins.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited for this match, just to see how it's gonna go down. The chemistry between Becky and AJ Lee, and this is AJ Lee's. I don't know if she's like, if she wants to stamp her foot and say, I'm back full time, like I'm back, or I'm just going to make these spot appearances. But this is a chance for her to really get her wrestling in. She didn't, back in AJ Lee's heyday where she was on top, she didn't really have a lot to work with. Not like now, not like now where she's got the opportunity to wrestle people like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Asuka. There's so many names that you could pull AJ Lee into that would just be like, yeah, I want to see that. So the only thing I'm wondering is AJ Lee going to be doing the week-to-week commitment to be a champion, to be the Intercontinental Champion, to want to defend the title, be a fighting champion, and defend the title as much as possible? I don't know. And not only that, Becky Lynch is so good at what she's doing right now with the weekly vlogs that she puts out, and her conduct on social media and the way she utilizes social media. She's just doing phenomenal work. So I don't know if you want to necessarily take that away from her, because she's making the Intercontinental Championship kind of interesting, which it could get lost in the shuffle. It could get somewhere misplaced down the line where nobody really cares about the Women's Intercontinental Championship, but she's making it a big deal. She's making sure that people know that she's the champion, that the belt means a lot to her. So I could definitely appreciate that. As far as a winner, yeah, I think Becky Lynch is going to cheat to win. She might grab the rope for some leverage. She might grab a handful of tights on the pin. She's going to do something dastardly to squeak out a win. Not to say she's deserving of it, but she's going to do what she can as champion and as a heel character to come away with the win and make sure she keeps the championship. So I am also going with Becky Lynch here.
Right. I like that point though you made of is what AJ want to do the week to week fighting champion kind of thing, because if I remember correctly, she is locked in with a multi-year deal. So I'm wondering if it was a multi-year deal, but it wasn't like a full-time thing. I don't honestly remember the details, because I feel like it's been so long, and I don't know. I feel like we'd have to do some deep diving on that one. But yeah, I just feel like Becky's just too good right now to have her lose that belt. I mean, honestly, even if she didn't have it, she'd still be great, but she just adds more to that title because we don't want that fading into irrelevancy. Unfortunately, we've had too many, women's championships do that over the years. So we got to keep it hot while we can. And right now, that person's Becky. You got to keep it on her.
Yeah.
Even though she might get beat up by the crowd, but that remains to be seen. So we both pick Becky Lynch retaining the Women's Intercontinental Championship against AJ Lee. Which brings us to the main event already. For the World Heavyweight Championship, we got CM Punk, the hometown guy, defending his title against Finn Balor. So pretty much this one was just rather interesting because, of course, Balor kind of interrupted, Punk's interview on Raw to challenge him at Elimination Chamber, and then of course Adam Pearce has to be Adam Pearce, and said no, we got to keep it Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. We can't have anything go wrong there. And Punk's just like, you know what, no. And Pearce is like, okay, well fuck me as the GM then, I guess. I'll just listen to you. So this is how this happened. But unfortunately though, it's like, as much as we want to keep the storyline consistent and whatnot, I don't really think it's as much of a pick here. This one's rather easy. Punk's obviously going to retain, because why would they have the match for WrestleMania 42 if it's going to get thrown into a tailspin because of Finn Balor? I mean, that'd be fun. I would love it, but it's just not going to happen. But I hope that this is finally a return to form with Finn, where it's finally just like, this is the Finn Balor we've been wanting to see more and more of for years now, because he's been bogged down with all these things and they never really let him just let loose. So I feel like this is finally going to be like the full-on opportunity for him to remind everybody of what he's capable of. It's going to be a really good match. I think it's going to be a very sneaky good match, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna have Punk lose. Like, there's just no way. They already won't be able to handle Becky winning, but if you have Punk lose, good God, that place, that arena would get burned down. You could fully just you could just kiss the United Center goodbye at that point. But fear not, that will not be happening, because again, that's just doesn't make any sense to have Punk lose that title.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think CM Punk is going to be losing the title on Saturday. I think he's going to be retaining in his hometown of Chicago. It is going to be a great match because they have good chemistry with each other. Two veterans of the ring, kind of coming up the same way, hard nosed, cut their teeth to get to the wrestling business. So I think they have good chemistry with each other, and they're going to have a good match. This is a test for Finn Balor to see if he's worthy to take that next step. So maybe after WrestleMania season, we can see Finn Balor implemented in more main events and see maybe he can go after the World Heavyweight Championship. But I'm just sneakily excited for this match. I think it's going to be a dark horse in the card. I think it's going to be one that we're going to talk about and say, hey, that was a pretty good match and very enjoyable. But unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, but unfortunately for Finn Balor, I'm going to have to go with CM Punk on this one. I think he's just too hot right now with the championship, and they're not going to have him lose in his hometown. Not only that, but Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania, that's a money match. That's going to sell some tickets. So they're not going to jeopardize that at any point.
No, I completely agree with you on that one. But the problem with that means is that we have both gone 4 for 4 on our predictions.
Yes.
Probably nobody's surprised that we are we're in lockstep with each other for all 4 matches. So that means we got to bring in the good old tiebreaker. So I feel like I haven't done this in a couple pay-per-views, to be honest. So I feel like the Elimination Chambers by themselves just have limitless potential of tiebreakers because anything could happen, but I feel like those are also way too easy. You would think that with only 4 matches this wouldn't be this difficult, and yet. All right, I need a minute to think, so I'll just let you go for yours. So,
all right, so
what do you got?
I think for mine, I'm going to keep it fairly simple, and I think I'm going to predict in the CM Punk Finn Balor match, CM Punk will hit Finn Balor with not 1 GTS, but 2 GTS to put him away and win the title and retain in Chicago. But that's just me. Again, I'm thinking he's going with 2 GTS instead of 1 to put Finn Balor away. That's just me. I don't know about you. I don't know if you got your wheels spinning.
It's very easy to say that Javon Evans is going to do something like crazy in the chamber, but I feel like we have to definitely break that into more specifics because anything he could do could be crazy.
Right.
So, I mean, so easy enough. I will go with the men's chamber match. I feel like. Trying to remember how high that ceiling is.
I think it's like 20, I want to say.
But they actually let him jump off the ceiling. I don't think they let him jump off the ceiling. That's a little too, I think, crazy for even Javon, but. All right. So just for the sake of I don't think we're going to watch a man die on pay-per-view, I'm going to say in the men's chamber match, Javon Evans is going to jump off one of the pods onto something somewhere in that chamber. I don't care if it's the ring or if it's like the floor outside the ring. I just feel like he's going to be jumping off that pod and doing something crazy at some point during the match.
All right. We're going with Javon Evans doing something crazy and Daredevil-like in the Elimination Chamber for Shay's prediction.
Yes, and we're going with Punk's gonna hit Finn with not 1, 2 GTSs. Am I correct?
2 GTSs.
All right. So let's see how it goes then. We'll see what happens. The title needs to come back, but
we'll see. I think the title likes where it's at right now.
Well, I'm still very mad because I should technically have it now because I was the one that said Gunther was gonna beat AJ at the Rumble, but we didn't do predictions that night for whatever fucking reasons. So,
Oh, buddy.
Fine. What? You weren't gonna even pick him either. You even said during the predictions you weren't gonna pick him, but whatever.
I wasn't. You're right. You're right.
And I did, and what did I get from it? Nothing. Anyway, so before we go like any further into that, we're just gonna go into the questions now.
All right.
So we're almost there. Let me see where we should stop here. All right, we're gonna start with mom's stuff. So, obviously, the big thing to come out of Raw this week was AJ Styles being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame already. So, mom just said, "Congrats to AJ. It was well deserved." So, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I wasn't expecting it to be so soon, but still deserved nonetheless.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that to be an announcement to be made. It definitely was a great moment between AJ and The Undertaker in the ring. You can see AJ was caught off guard, but he was really excited and really happy to receive the honor to go into the Hall of Fame this year. So really, congratulations to him, and I can't wait for him to get his flowers.
Yeah, I can't either because it was just going to be a matter of time, to be honest, because somebody like AJ Styles deserves to be in pretty much every wrestling Hall of Fame imaginable. So, not a surprise it's WWE that gets it first, even though, again, very soon, but also no one's going to really bat an eye at it.
Right.
Which is actually funny because I feel like Mike actually had a question, so we're just going to like combine the two here. So, nice send off for AJ. Does he or Stephanie headline the class of 2026? I feel like it would have to be Styles, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I think they're gonna really pack this year's class. So to start off with Stephanie McMahon and AJ Styles already off the rip is pretty cool. So I think, honestly, I think AJ is definitely gonna be the one to get the full accolade, like the lead in the class of Hall of Fame inductees, and that doesn't necessarily mean that nobody else is deserving or as deserving, but it's just going to be nice for AJ to get that recognition.
Yeah, I completely agree on that one. So yes, we both agree, shockingly again, that AJ will be the quote-unquote headliner. All right, so going back to Mama for a minute, Boy the Vision is falling apart. Yeah, I saw it was rather interesting that every original member of the Vision is now currently hurt.
Yeah, the Vision is cursed.
Poor Bronson, really, just watching that replay, I'm like, that did not look great. I mean, at first it didn't look as bad, but then when they did it in slow motion, I'm like, oh yeah, that shoulder's not supposed to bend that way. So yeah, hopefully it's a quick recovery, but it's just like, god damn, and because he was probably supposed to win the chamber or the eliminator. Jesus, the eliminator chamber. Jesus, it's late, guys. The qualifier for the elimination chamber, and I think, funny enough, I think Mike also had his first question. Sorry, Mike, we're combining your questions with mom's, but it makes sense. Was Jay winning the Money in the Bank qualifier planned or altered due to Bronson Reed's injury mid-match? I'm pretty sure it was already said that it was supposed to be Bronson, so they just kind of had to hit the panic button at that point. So, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure most people weren't entirely thrilled to see Jay back in it, but when your pick messes his shoulder up mid-match, you kind of don't really have much of a choice at that rate.
Yeah, I really feel bad for Bronson Reed. I just feel like the Vision is cursed.
They are. Heyman better watch his back because clearly he's next.
Heyman, Paul, Logan Paul, Austin Theory.
Counter days, guys.
Yeah, it's just that this just hasn't been working well for the Vision. Everybody getting hurt, plans having to be changed, and it's really gonna, like, what's gonna happen when everybody comes back? Are we just gonna go back to, like, same deal, like, running roughshod over everybody, or are we gonna try to repair this? What's gonna happen with the mystery man now? Like, this is all crazy.
Yeah, it goes to show you how one singular injury can throw off like a bunch of things in WWE. There's so many, or even just wrestling, there's so many moving parts within a storyline, and just the match itself, or just like overarching storylines. It's just like one injury can fuck up a bunch of stuff, and this is clearly a prime example of that. But yeah, it's just gotta sage them or something. I feel like that might be the only thing they can do, because goddamn. What the hell happened with it? Somebody put a curse on him. Is clearly what happened, but
Somebody did.
yeah. And someone needs to pay that person off to uncurse them, but unfortunately, it remains to be seen. I don't know if they said how long Bronson was going to be out, if I remember correctly.
4 to 6 months is what I read.
Jesus. Yeah, so this is going to be an issue. This is going to be a little bit of an issue. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how they go from here when everybody's back, because they're going to have a lot of explaining to do, that's for sure.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to switch over to AEW for a minute. So the Rascals win on Collision was unexpected, but good for them. Yeah, that was a really good match with them and FTR. That was a fantastic match.
Yeah, definitely.
I was very impressed.
Definitely. Yeah, the win did catch me off guard, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, because usually we're just like, I think we even talked about it a couple episodes ago, why these Eliminator matches are just stupid, but that one was just kind of like, oh wow, I was pleasantly surprised by that, because we just didn't assume FTR, we just assumed they were going to win, because that's just how they are. But yeah, it was very good. I'm glad the Rascals got the win. Much deserved. And yeah, that match was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff that happened afterwards, it was just a
that was crazy.
That was a chaotic ending to Collision, to say the least.
Yeah.
Very chaotic.
That was definitely crazy, that ending. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
There's so many people. I'm like, I don't know who to look at. They're just everywhere. But still, a lot of fun though, but still very much like, I don't know where I'm looking, because I'm just like seeing so many people on the screen at once, but sometimes you need that chaos just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're kind of going back and forth a little bit here. So back to WWE for a minute. And the topic everybody likes to talk about, the WrestleMania ticket sales. And funny enough, I didn't realize until now that Mom and Mike had a lot of very similar interweaving questions. So Mom said, heard the ticket sales are really low for WrestleMania, can't imagine why. And Mike said, with all the talk of Fed having Mania ticket sale issues, I don't expect them to change pricing this year, but do you think next year it'll be reduced, or will it still be sky high since it's in Saudi?
Oh, it'll still be sky high, I think.
Oh, so yeah, because Saudi, I think the thing is with Saudi, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it's just like, I don't think actual, like, fans for the most part have those tickets. It's like the dignitaries and like the royalty in Saudi Arabia are pretty much just like, you're going whether you like it or not. So it's a little different over there for many reasons. But yeah, guys, I can't really imagine why having $1,400 in peanut heaven is going to cause an issue with people. Like, who can't imagine? And then the problem is you throw all the blackout shit that they're doing right now, and it's like, guys, you're not going to get the money you think you are, because we even just talked about this last week. I'm pretty sure last week, where it was like, it pretty much, I think what I said came true, where I'm like, they're probably in the mindset of, well, why would we have people in the city where the pay-per-view is going on and go to a bar where all they have to do is just essentially pay for food and drinks and whatever, and you can watch the show for free, whereas, well, we'll just force them to come watch the show. And it's just like, no, they're just not going to want to watch your show. It's like, you're not going to force these people to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to go to these shows just because you don't want to show it at a bar. It's like, it's just getting, just when you think they can't get any greedier, they just keep doing this shit. Yeah. And then they wonder why the ticket sales are so low for WrestleMania, because no one wants to pay that much. Like, that's, again, the fact that back when it was in Philly, the same seats I paid $75 for a 2-night is $1,400 in Vegas. It's fucking insane. Like, it's wild. Like, there's no reason it should be that much.
Yeah, that's nuts. And that's just corporate greed at its finest right there.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's funny too to bring up the fact that they tried that, the holiday special ticket sale, ergo we're not selling tickets and need to like push these out the door. And they still didn't sell them. Like, their 25% off sale didn't do shit for them. So it's just like, maybe you should ring some red flags in your head, guys. Like, hey, maybe people kind of see right through your shit. But I don't know. It's just kind of got what they asked for on that one, I think.
Yeah, it's really sad to see what corporate greed is like in the flesh. Like, what's it like really in front of your face when you're looking at it? Yeah. Because, I mean, how much is too much? How much is like, what metrics, what data are they looking at that says, yeah, people can definitely pay this price to get this ticket to go to this show, and we're going to be profitable, and they're going to get their money's worth, and they're not going to be on the verge of homelessness. Like, you got to take out a loan these days to go to WrestleMania. It's too crazy and it's not only the ticket to the show, it's the ticket to the convention thing that they have going on, the WWE World, the travel. You got to pay for individual autographs, hotels, concessions, food, all that's you're looking at
thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you're looking at, at least on the light end, maybe $5,000.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, to add to that, the thing that some people probably don't understand is that we'll just say like a regular, I don't know, this is going to sound probably horrible, but just for scenario's sake, say like a regular ticket to Vegas from like Pittsburgh or something is like $250 round trip, which I feel like most people would wish it was $250, but the problem is when you have the perks of having a mom who used to work in the travel industry, she knows the ins and outs, and these like hotels and airlines and whatever, they're not dumb because they know well in advance that it was coming back to Vegas. So what they'll do is they'll just immediately jack the price up months in advance. Like, they knew what day, what times, everything. So that $250 ticket, which should stay $250, is now probably $700-800 because they're like, well, supply and demand. You want to come out here to go to the show, you have to pay for it, which is sad, but it's just, that's capitalism. It just, like you said, when's enough, and I don't think it's ever going to be enough, but it's just, insane. And then to have it in Vegas, of all things, everything's even more expensive out in Vegas too. Like, mom again loves Vegas, used to go there when she was a travel agent and everything, and she's like, the fact that they're making people pay $45 a day for resort fees is insane. Like, those were not that high back then. But again, capitalism, corporate greed, they never know enough to end. And then when they all of a sudden are like, hey, why is no one buying our stuff? We don't really know what's going on there. That's weird. It's like, yeah, guys, can't really imagine why, because you guys are just so fucking greedy that no one wants to spend that money anymore. Because the thing is, there's two types of people with that kind of money. People who don't have that money and want to, but are going to put themselves into debt, and like you said, like put a mortgage out in their home, sell a kidney or something for these tickets. Or there's going to be people that have that money and just don't want to spend that money. Like, that's just the thing. Like, they won't be able to justify spending that much even if they have it. So they can't just rely on, oh, well, people can afford it. It's like, yeah, but even if they can, they might not want to because it's insane. Like, it is so fucking insane, but they're never going to learn. I don't think they are anyway, unless they finally realize, oh, it's hitting us in the wallet a little bit, but they'll break some imaginary record again, and it'll be the highest WrestleMania gate in history, and I don't know, they'll pad the numbers or something, I'm sure, but it's just like, yeah, I'm glad that people are finally waking up and realizing, hey, maybe we shouldn't pay thousands of dollars to sit up where the wrestlers are the size of a grain of rice. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, guys. Like, the loyalty has to end at some point, or there has to be a boundary with the loyalty, and I'm glad that people are finally realizing that, hey, this really isn't actually morally and ethically a good business practice, so you got to hit them where it is, and where it hurts, and where that is the wallet.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, because I mean, I can't even go to a Raw or a SmackDown because even those are out of my price range because of, what they charge nowadays. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah, I can't. I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I actually went to a live event or anything, because it's just, I don't want to spend that kind of money. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I have too much. I have other things that I would rather spend my money on or just save up for things, and that's just not one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Capitalism, I tell you. Great. Alrighty, so back to AEW for Mom's last two questions or comments. How long do we think Tekla is going to hold on to the title? I hope for a little while because she could carry it. I mean, she's got the charisma, she's got the in-ring talent, she's got the look. So I don't see why they couldn't have her hold that title for a little while. I mean, why the hell not?
Problem is that they've been kind of playing hot potato with their titles. You know, we're getting title changes when we least expect it. So I don't really know. I mean, like, I'm with you. I want to see Tekla hold on to it for a very long time. I was never a fan of transitional champions, which I
No.
thought like Tommaso Ciampa and not necessarily Statlander, but definitely on that night, you know, because we had the Tommaso Ciampa title change. That like I was like, oh man, and then they ended up doing the thing with Statlander and taking the belt off of Statlander, and you're like, wow, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, I wasn't too much of a fan of that because I feel like we even talk. I feel like we always do. It always comes back from what we talk about from months ago when she had the title. I said, yeah, she's probably going to hold that title for a long time because it's Statlander. Like, it's not really out of the realm of possibility for her to have a long reign.
Right.
And then they do that. So
Yes.
clearly, I was wrong. They heard us and they're like, yeah, we'll show you guys, all right. And yeah, it still sucks for me because I love Stat, but I'm also really loving Tekla. So it's cool to see her with the belt, but I'm also just like, this just doesn't look right yet. I'm sure it will at some point, but I'm like, damn it, I want a Stat to hold on to that a little longer. But uh hopefully Tekla can hold on to it for a little bit. But yeah, I feel like sometimes they just go in each week and they're like, how about we just like change the title just for the giggles? Why not?
Man.
I
Yeah.
just hope that's not the case because I don't really see anybody right now that could actually beat Tekla that would make sense. I
Mm,
mean,
I don't
I
know.
mean Megan Bane, but again, you're not gonna have two heels going against each other for no reason really. So I mean, and I don't see Thunder Rosa beating her because I mean she just came back, and I just don't see that happening right away. But yeah, there's just like nobody outside of Stat that could beat Tekla right now, and it would be believable. So I don't know. Maybe we just got to give it some time, and they'll bring somebody else up. But it remains to be seen.
Good on Tekla though.
Yeah, good for her though. Like I said, I've really been impressed with her since she's been with AEW, and I've been a big fan of hers now. So I liked it, but I also hated it. It was very conflicting for me that night, but I'll warm up to it at some point, I'm sure. All right, and then Mom's last comment is we need to see bald Yuta.
We're going to, and the payoff is gonna be great. So I can't wait till it happens. I like that they're letting it slow burn. I like that they're kind of hiding it because eventually he's gonna have that stupid hat ripped off and we're gonna see his giant bald head. So
I was gonna laugh and
yeah,
scream bald.
yeah. So
Yeah.
they're just letting it build up. That's all.
Yeah, and it's so funny that this is like what everybody's dying to see is just him being bald. Like that's just the running gag at this point. But yeah, I'm glad they chose not to get like rip the band-aid off right away because I'm just like, you can like play with this for a few more weeks at
Right.
least, and like, or I don't know, wait till maybe Revolution. But even then, I feel like I guess they'll give it a couple more weeks just for the hell of it, and then just all right, just rip it off and blind us all with the baldness. But it'll be funny when it happens though, and it's gonna get a big pop from the crowd. Like the crowd, wherever it is gonna go absolutely nuts, which makes me think that maybe they might do it at some point during Revolution, but I feel like they need to give it a little bit of time. So we'll see when we see the bald, but it's gonna be sooner rather than later, I think. Alrighty, so that was all of Mom's questions and comments. So Mom,
Thank you,
thank
Mom.
you.
Thank you, Mom.
And poor Mike, sorry. I feel like we kind of got into Mike's questions a little bit, so I gotta have to remember which ones we covered already. So we did the Jey Uso one, we did Styles. So we're gonna go back a little bit because I didn't add this one in with Styles Hall of Fame thing. So who is somebody currently as an active wrestler would we had liked to have seen AJ wrestle in any promotion?
Who would I like to see AJ wrestle? See, that's the thing. I feel like we are very fortunate because we got to see AJ wrestle guy, especially like if you take from his Japan run all the way to the end of his WWE run, we got to see him wrestle a lot of different guys. You know, we got to see him mix it up with Will Ospreay at a certain point. You know, he mixed it up with Kenny Omega. You know, he had the matches with Shinsuke. You know, so we were very lucky to get this portion of AJ Styles' career in WWE because I feel like this was definitely his prime.
Oh yeah, I agree. As far as who we could have picked, yeah, I feel like if you'd say like Swerve or Osprey, that'd be kind of like obvious. So I kind of went with like a slight little. Actually, I'd say two. It would be really cool to see him go against the Catcher or Fletcher. I think like those would be really good matches.
Those would be great.
Yeah, those would be my picks. I mean, I feel like I feel like those don't really need much of an explanation. You just look at their work and go, yeah, he would have great matches with both of them for sure. Or help put them both together, make it a triple threat. Why the hell not?
Right.
Like, it would be a fantastic match either way.
Yeah, wow, that's really good matchup, especially Takeshita. I would love to see him match up with Takeshita. I think him and Takeshita would have some great matches together. The chemistry would be off the charts.
Yes, absolutely. What about you?
Swerve would be a good one. I would like to see him mix it up with Swerve. Osprey again at this current iteration of Osprey in his career, I think would be good. Who else? I would have liked to see him mix it up with Javon Evans. I'm really big on Javon Evans, and I feel like Javon Evans fits the WWE mold perfectly. You know, he's their high flyer, he's their wow guy, what their Ricochet would be or what their Will Ospreay would be. So I would love to see AJ Styles and Javon Evans. Becoming a big fan of Javon Evans. Really just anybody, really. I mean, but again, like Swerve, Osprey, Hangman would be good. I would love to see him mix it up with Hangman. So there's a whole list of people that like he definitely left some matches on the table with, but he's making a decision to retire and spend time with his family. So you can't really hate on that. You got to salute it and salute the career that he had and give him the flowers that he's getting right now.
Yeah, you gotta respect it, even though we don't like it, but that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, so of course, Twitter has to exit out at the worst possible time. All right, so this one I knew was going to be a very hot topic for us to talk about. So, the Kenny and Swerve match, fantastic match, by the way. Which, go figure, we expected that. So Mike did not see the Swerve turn coming. Do you like him better as a heel or as a face? Yep, poor Aubrey. Poor Aubrey just ate shit on that. My God, like, I kind of like had to look at it a couple times for me to be like, oh, he pulled her in front of. I'm like, Swerve, come on, man. Like, it was tough because I feel like to him it was justified because he said he would do whatever it takes to get back in the title hunt, and if that meant taking out Kenny Omega, then he was going to. So really, he was a man of his word. Just did some, shitty things. I'm sure Aubrey doesn't appreciate that too much, but yeah, I feel like Swerve is a good guy's pretty good because of course you have the whole like whose house, Swerve's house chant. Right. You got that going on, whatever. You got the dancing during the entrance, but just something about him being a bad guy though is just that extra little edge and that extra little, oh yeah, he really is the most dangerous man in professional wrestling, and we've seen what he's capable of clearly, and he is not afraid to go there and wage not only physical but psychological warfare on people. So yeah, I feel like, of course I love Swerve no matter what. I just feel like it's always a little extra entertaining when he's a bad guy, I think.
Yeah, I think him as a bad guy, it makes a little bit more sense to go along with that whole, most dangerous man persona. I just think it makes more sense, and he's better as a more aggressive wrestler. Yes. He's better as a more aggressive wrestler, and now that, like, I kind of want to see them go back to Hangman. So, like, now that Hangman's kind of the good guy and everything, I want to see them kind of renew that feud between him and Swerve to see if they can get that going again. So it only makes sense that one of them be good guy and one of them be bad guy. So I think it works. I think it's a good thing. I'm ready to see where they take it, where they're going with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like it won't be the end of Swerve and Kenny either. That match is just too good to like not have them running back at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
So funny you mentioned Hangman. So another hot topic to come out of AEW this week, the fact that Hangman Cody Rhodes himself.
Hangman Cody Rhodes himself.
Yeah, because now we got the stipulation, because I had a little bit of a him and MJF had a little bit of a promo thing.
Right, yeah.
Well, I want a Texas death match, and of course MJF's like, yeah, no, I don't want that. And Hangman's like, well, what if I give you the stipulation of if you beat me, I can never challenge for the title again? And I'm like, I literally said it out loud. I'm like, he just Cody Rhodes himself. Why did you do that, man? Like, so now the thing is, are they going to go through with it this time? Because they did it before. Are they going to do it again? But I feel like, I would like to think they learned from that mistake before, because I feel like it really did nobody any favors when it happened to Cody. And I feel like locking one of your more popular wrestlers out of ever challenging for that title again sounds like a very stupid idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good idea, so hopefully that's not the case, but I don't know. They'd have to do a lot of backtracking to make people forget that that exists down the line, so I would like to think that they're really not going to go through with this a second time.
I just don't know why you would creatively handcuff yourself and back yourself into a corner that way when you say, oh yeah, if Hangman loses, he won't ever challenge for the title again. It's like, that's just, that's dumb. Just it's too dangerous.
Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, it adds the drama and ups the stakes a little bit. But again, we've seen what happens when they actually go through with that for like the shock value. It crashed and burned like hard. So do you really want to do that to one of your most beloved wrestlers? I'd like to think they wouldn't. So if they know what's good for them, please don't do this again. Don't stop doing it. There's a reason why it's been years since they even tried this again. And the fact that they're even trying this again is making my head hurt. But yeah, it's like, please just don't. There's just advice from us to you. Just don't do it. Stop doing it.
Don't do it.
But we'll see at Revolution if they actually listen or not, but that remains to be seen. All right, so we talked about the WrestleMania ticket conundrum. All right, so Mike's last question is, would you like to see Orton RKO Brady after Brady said WWE was cute?
Oh, man. I never got bent out of shape when anybody talked about wrestling or WWE and like was like, I don't like it. Well, I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, like it was one of those things where I learned as I got older, your dislike for something or you not being into something is not going to affect me and my fandom for it. You know, it's still going to be something that I love. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you think it's just cute, that's all fine and dandy. It doesn't affect how I feel about the product and how I feel about professional wrestling and why I am a fan. But so for some people, they really stand up and they stick their flag down and they get very they get very angry when you misspeak about their professional wrestling.
Yeah, which I don't know. I just feel like I agree with you where it's like, okay, just because Brady said WWE was cute, that's not going to crumble it shouldn't crumble anybody's interest in wrestling. It's just like, okay, well, clearly, I don't know why you're putting so much stock into the comments of somebody who probably doesn't really know much about wrestling anyway. So it's like, okay, like, why do you care what he thinks then? Like, that's not going to affect if you enjoy it or not. You're like, oh, I'm just not going to watch anymore out of, I don't know, protest or some stupid shit like that. But it's just like, okay,
Tom Brady has ruined wrestling for me.
No, we have more reasons to hate more Tom Brady as football fans. That's different, but it's is what that's a whole other thing. But it's just again like, and I feel like it always comes. We always have this kind of like conversation every so often. And I feel like it always comes out to outside of like wrestling too, where I think the biggest example of okay, well, I'm not going to let other people's like opinions ruin my enjoyment of insert whatever here. And I think for you and I especially, it's tattoos
Yeah.
because that is a very, for whatever reason, to some people, still a very polarizing thing. And I don't really understand why that is, but I feel like it's just nowadays people don't know enough to mind their own business and to
Mm.
just not say anything if they don't like them. Because we both knew when we got tattoos what we signed up for. We were
Right.
going to be perpetually stared at for the rest of our lives, good, bad, or indifferent. It's just no matter where we go in public, especially since I mean, obviously you're covered in them, I'm covered in them. There's no way to hide them for the
Right.
most part. Um, and of course, at some point, I think hopefully during the summer, I'm gonna get the back of my hand done, the
Oh.
back of my right hand done. So it's like then I really can't hide it. At least when it's in the winter or the fall, I can have a hoodie on and you can't see any of mine. But once I get the hand one, I'm not hiding them. But that's the thing. I don't care to hide them because I have them for a reason. I didn't spend money to care what other people thought.
Right.
And it's just to go back into the wrestling thing where it's just like, okay, well, growing up, we had to hear people who didn't really watch wrestling say, oh, that's fake, right? And it's just like, okay, clearly you're not a wrestling fan, so I'm not going to sit here and try and lecture you why, yeah, the outcome is like predetermined, but the stuff that goes on inside the ring isn't. It's just like, there's no point. Because at the end of the day, they don't give a shit. They're not going to go home and be like, okay, well, I guess maybe I'll just watch wrestling then because, oh, well, it really isn't fake after all. It's just like, they're not going to care. It's
Yeah.
just their unsolicited opinion that, for the most part, we never ask for, and yet we still get anyway. And people just can't seem to understand why you don't have to give them the reaction. That's the thing. Like, it's just like, okay, who gives a shit what Tom Brady has to say about wrestling, of all things? It's just like, okay, move on. Like, that's not going to ruin your love for wrestling, and it shouldn't because somebody who was a football star is saying something about wrestling. It's just like the whole reason, and it's not perfect. It's like, again, but you also have to go on the flip side of it and let's not act like professional wrestling is like God send 10 out of 10 perfect, never done anything wrong in its entire life. Like wrestling is very shitty in some ways that we don't have time to get into. But
Mm.
even besides the morally bankrupt decisions and whatnot aside, it's just like nothing is ever going to be perfect. And that's the whole point of enjoying things, is being able to separate what you don't like about something from what you do like. And that's just, again, goes for literally anything in general. It goes for movies, it goes for video games, it goes for music, it goes for TV shows, it goes for tattoos, it just goes for everything. Where okay, yeah, it's just like, to somebody who's not in the know with wrestling, they go and say something, yeah, you can get offended or whatever about it, but it's just like at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck what you have to say.
Right.
They just said their thing and they're done. Like, you think Tom Brady gives a shit that he pissed off half a fan base because he called wrestling cute or WWE cute? Like, he didn't give a shit. Like, who cares? It's like, guys, it's I hate to break it to you, but it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything. It was a comment, and that's it.
Yeah,
All it is.
it's not gonna change my love or my viewership for professional wrestling or because of what Tom Brady says. So whatever. He doesn't like it, okay, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah, because if we let people affect like if people's opinions affected us on like a deep psychological, emotional, whatever level, you and I would have like lasered off our tattoos years ago. We wouldn't be fans of literally anything, and we would all just be emotionless robots. Because it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, I can't like something because someone's gonna yell at me for it. Like again, I've always bring it up, but it's the truth. Like with Star Wars, like there is not many more toxic fan bases, no pun intended with Tekla, but like Star Wars fans are very fucking toxic for a lot of things. And it's just the gatekeeping kind of thing of you can only like specific types of the movies, but not all of them. And it's just like, okay, well, if I let those people influence my opinions of these movies, I would hate literally all of them except for like 3.
Yeah.
And I just choose to be like, okay, well, yeah, these aren't perfect because none of them are. They're really, I mean, I guess you could say Empire Strikes Back was probably as close to perfection as you can get, but still it had its problems. But you were still able to go like, okay, despite these flaws, I still found enjoyment in these movies because X, Y, and Z. And I feel like some people just, it's very hard for them to do that, and they just crumble at the slightest inconvenience or slightest like criticism, or they just like lose their shit. And it's like, it's not that deep, guys. It's just, it literally anything, again, it doesn't matter if it's wrestling, whatever, it's not that fucking deep. Like what you like, enjoy what you enjoy, and really who fucking cares what other people have to say, because if you enjoy it, that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Can't say it better myself.
I feel like we always get these soapboxes at some point during our episodes lately. We really are just like dropping some stuff. I don't know what it is, but it works. But let me double check here and make sure we didn't miss anything. So that was, nope, that was all of Mike's questions. We got through Mom's questions. So we are done. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Right, adios. No, thank you. Thank you guys for participating in the episode and sending in your questions and being part of the fun. We really appreciate it. Without you guys, we really wouldn't have a show. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to ask us some questions, to give us some content to talk about on this show. And thank you to the listener for taking time out of your day to listen to the show. And hopefully you found some enjoyment out of it as well. For those of you that are listening to the show for the first time but want to get it on a specific platform, please let us know what platform you listen to podcasts on. We are available on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Ringside Rundown. Hit us up in the DM. Let us know what platform you use for a podcast, and we will get you an episode of the podcast on that platform of choice on a silver platter. But be careful, because the silver platter belongs to Shay's mom, and she used to be a deathmatch wrestler. So you definitely don't want to mess with her. You want to make sure you give her back her silver platter.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with her. Trust me, guys. I know from personal experience. Just don't do it.
This podcast is
everything.
This podcast is available on all podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible. Wherever you listen to podcasts, it's available. All you got to do is search Ringside Rundown on the search engine and hit the follow or subscribe button, whatever the platform asks of you, and you will never miss an episode. We come out with an episode weekly. Every Wednesday an episode drops, so make sure you have it set up so that way you can get notified when a new episode comes about, so you can listen to it and let us know what you think. We're available all across the board on social media, like I said, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Ringside Rundown. We're also on TikTok, Ringside_Rundown on TikTok. We're also on YouTube, where we also do multi-streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Twitch.tv/Ringside Rundown, YouTube.com/@RingsideRunPod. Again, that's Twitch.tv/Ringside Rundown and YouTube.com/@RingsideRunPod. Shay, where can they get in touch with you?
You can find me on my wrestling Twitter at ShayRingside_. And just like we always say, it's just like Erik's, except I copied the homework a little bit. I just didn't make it look obvious.
There you go. There you go. We like to keep things uniform and everything looks great. So next week, our episode, we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber, giving our match ratings for each match, and also probably taking in more of your questions about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. So we can't wait for that. Make sure you check out the episode and let us know what you think. There's a bunch of links in the description where you can leave your opinions on the podcast and suggestions on how to make the podcast better. So take advantage of that. And yeah, so now I think it's time for us to get out of here. So for Shay Hickson, my name is Erik Vasquez. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode, guys. Take care.
See you later, guys.